All right, we're starting right now. This is it. This is the podcast. Hello, uh, Ros and Mike. I wanted to ask you to be on here for two reasons. One, because eventually I was going to ask both of you to be on Shrimp Night anyway. But two is because I have objective guilt for not attending Mondo Baltimore for so long. So I want to assuage that guilt. And I thought, what better way to do it than to have the two current hosts on just to talk about Mondo and then do like a movie list thing.
Sure.
So thank you guys for being here to make me feel better, like I'm doing something.
I absolve you of your sin, Bob.
I seriously do feel bad. I don't talk about it much, but I do feel bad about not attending Mondo. First off, what is Mondo for anyone listening?
You go first.
All right. So I try to explain Mondo to normal people.
Normal people?
There's two ways you can go with it. Like the normal people way is like, oh, it's a movie night I host. We have prizes and games, and I dress up as a horror host with my co-host, and we show movies that are so bad they're good. That's like The Office, like
that's the water cooler explanation.
Sure.
Yeah, the water cooler explanation.
And then they ask have you ever seen The Room?
Yes.
Or Troll 2.
Or Troll 2, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell normal people. When people are cool, though.
I love how you're judging these people instantly.
Just walking down the street, it's like, that's a fucking nerd. That's a fucking square.
Cool
hey,
guy,
you,
nerd, square.
Cool dude. You want to hear about Mondo Baltimore?
I would love to see Roz walk up to like a bunch of greasers, like 50s greasers. He's like, oh, they get the cool explanation.
Yeah, boys, it's a talkie tonight.
Yeah, right. All right, so we're let's say me and Mike were actually cool.
Yeah.
How would you explain Mondo to us?
I usually say it's like a mystery science theater 3000, kind of meets Elvira, kind of meets drunken heckling, screaming at you. And at some point in the night, someone may or may not tell you to fuck the wall. And there are prizes involved sometimes.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is like, I remember the days of Mondo when like the MST3K part was like the selling point. You remember?
Yeah.
Like they tried a bunch of stuff where it was like at first you were supposed to we were telling people to scream out. I don't know if you guys remember this, but we told audience members to like scream stuff as hard as they could, and that was a disaster. Telling people to scream at the movie was a disaster. And then there was like, we give people microphones and they do their MST3K throughout the movie. That was a disaster. Eventually, just because of acoustics, I feel like that aspect of Mondo kind of floated away a little bit because there was no way to do it with proper sound.
Yeah.
Like that worked, you know?
And I think one nice thing that has sort of come up organically in the absence of that is that when we put together the drinking game, which we always make, there's always a drinking game for the Mondo movie, and Roz and I make it, and there's always like we shoot for like 10 rules, and most of them are completely ignored. They're just like little jokes to sort of like prep people for the movie.
Yeah.
But occasionally there will be some like call out things, like when we showed a movie called Love on a Leash, which is still God damn that
one of
movie.
The best classics that Mondo's ever shown.
It's true.
It really is.
I like to think we gave it a bump because it's starting to pick up.
Yeah, I've seen it mentioned on
popularity.
Twitter. I've seen it mentioned at random on Twitter before, like a few times. So,
but one of the things that came out of that night was drink every time there's a duck on screen and shout quack. And there are so many random ass scenes with ducks that just by the end of the night, we had the entire bar full of people screaming quack every other minute. And it was great. It was this wonderful community moment where we're all just like, this movie is a goddamn fever dream. Just we're going to yell at it in unison.
It's also great because that movie that was the version with the soundtrack missing. So It's inordinately a quiet movie
So quiet.
on top of being a complete mess. It's so quiet.
I like to believe that they forgot to upload the soundtrack.
I think didn't he say that like they might not have had the rights or something, and it was a rights issue?
Sean suggested that. I have heard. All right, so we should explain that just Level on a Leash
is a
of
Level on a Leash now.
Yeah.
Level on a Leash is a movie we showed. It is a very fever dream-esque retelling of the Frog Prince, except the frog is a dog named Prince.
But he
we're
didn't start out as a dog.
Well, he does. He starts the movie as a dog. They imply that at some point in the past he was a person.
Yeah.
Let's also say this: it's like a camcorder movie.
Yeah,
it's like not. It's a very low budget movie. It's from I'm looking it up right now. It's from 2011.
Yep.
And
it's supposed to be a rom-com.
Yeah, it was released in 2011. It looks like it was shot in like 2003.
And there's no soundtrack in the version we showed. And it's so bizarre. Like the first half hour is just about how this woman keeps getting assaulted by the men in her life till she drives her to telling that the dog she loves it. And then he is only a person at night and when it's cloudy out, but during the day he's a dog. And she's like, no, it's okay, we'll have kids, I don't mind having puppies. Yeah. And then they break up after he turns into a dog at a luncheon, and there's a freak out, and then they get back together, and as they're getting back together, he gets hit by a bus. And then he comes back to life 18 years later.
Right.
That's the movie. We're not doing it justice.
No, you can't. Nothing can do it justice. You have to see it to see the editing.
But that 90 minutes, except for the dialogue, is completely silent.
Yes, as in no music. Do you remember? Okay, so to frame Mondo Baltimore, I'm coming back to Level on a Leash. There's around like what 10 to 15 people at most in the Mondo crew.
Sure.
When Level on a Leash, when that was chosen, I remember one of the more funny things we've all been split down the middle on was whether to show the no music version or because Sean was on the like I'm gonna find the music version with music.
I was also on that. I was desperately trying to find because at least I wanted to know.
It was our Twilight.
Like.
It was Team Edward and Team Jacob. I was Team Jacob. I was like, no, let's just show the no music.
Team Jacob.
Yeah, I wanted no music right off.
We had like weird ideas, like let's let people like play music along to it. Let's put up like a Casio keyboard, and that would have gone as well as encouraging people
to scream. Right. Yeah, that would not go okay. Here's instruments, everyone, play at will.
Just give instruments to angry people who've been drinking on a Thursday night.
That's great. That's a good idea.
If we did it maybe like a jukebox where people like got to choose their songs and Pat would just play them with the movie one by one, maybe it would have worked.
Let's see if it syncs up to Dark Side of the Moon.
Right. Either way, I just remember that there was like it split Mondo down the middle. Yes. Like, no, we must show the music. No, the silent version.
I was just curious more than anything. It's like, is this movie improved by the music?
Here's my guess: is that it was made in the mid-aughts or something like that, and the original cut had a bunch of copyrighted music in it.
I think that's probably.
And somebody was like, "Hey, I have a 90-minute movie that can be released, and I'm not going to put any effort into it. I'm just going to remove all the music."
So I think the fun thing that came out of that is that they realized how quiet many parts of the movie are.
Yes.
And my theory is this: so there are parts of the movie where it's following the dog around, just being a dog, and it's would be dead quiet otherwise. So they had someone dub over the movie. And it's like this, it's supposed to be the dog talking to himself, but he is just the fucking worst. He's just like, I'm just a dog, everybody sucks. Hey, there's a girl that loves me, she can lick my balls. At one point he calls his girlfriend a pizza face cinder block.
Yes, when he's trying to save her.
When he's trying to save her from drowning. He is just Like he is just negging her
It's-
all the fucking time.
It's a one pass. Like they played the movie and the guy sat there with a microphone and just did anything.
Absolutely true.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't even edit it. He just spoke and they're like, yeah, just print. It was
That's my fucking dream job.
It's like it's very it's like very much like Justin Roiland stuff. Like when he's just like on Rick and Morty, where he's just like, "Hey, I'm a fucking guy. Here's my joke. Doing my joke thing. Joke. Fuck that guy."
But see, with that, it's surrounded by a show that's actually written and made by professionals.
Yeah.
With Love on a Leash, you have nothing to grab onto outside of it.
It's true. You're just in the ether, and then you're assaulted by this stuff.
By that.
I do think that movie has given us maybe our only standing ovation, which is when the golden retriever gets hit by a car at the end. Because the character...
Okay, that is true, but I think Marquis got one too.
Marquis,
Marquis got one too, but they're rare. Standing ovations are rare. Yeah. Is that? Would you say? I know Mike's gonna say yes. Is that your favorite Mondo movie that you've shown in your tenure as host?
You're talking about Love on a Leash?
Yeah.
I still hate Love on a Leash, but I'll be damned if that wasn't an amazing Mondo.
Yeah, but as a Mondo movie, it's a masterpiece.
No, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think my personal favorite is just it's one that I had been waiting to get onto the Mondo board to pitch. That I gave the former host John Bennett, Dr. Acula, to give to you all to see, and he lost it. But that was a movie called Creatures from the Abyss, which is
he lost it.
He doesn't have. I don't know what happened to it, but
okay.
But it is an extremely horny Italian horror movie about a bunch of random 30-year-old teenagers that get stuck on a research vessel / pleasure ship where just like everything is a dick. And there are these radioactive fish that got mutated to be super horny. And there is a scene with a sexually aggressive shower intelligence. There is a
shower intelligence.
It's an AI that runs a shower, and
that becomes horny.
Gotcha.
It's very aggressive, just like touch yourself. Oh, you love that, don't you? And just so weird, so Italian. And then there's
that's very body positive.
So Italian.
Though.
Okay, I'm Italian. That's offensive to me, Mike. No, I'm kidding.
There's a werefish sex scene. All right, that's all we'll leave it at.
Right.
Man who turns into a fish halfway through.
That
sex.
Sounds amazing, but
it's great.
Let me rephrase the question.
Sure.
What is both of your favorite movies that have already shown in your tenure as hosts?
Oh, okay.
That's more what I meant.
Oh,
that sounds great.
I think we have the same. I think we have the same answer. Wait, did we share this one?
Yeah, I think. Which one?
Dreamstalker.
Oh yeah. We did show this one together.
Yeah.
I think this was actually like our third movie that we hosted.
It was early in there. Yeah.
It was early in our tenure. But I know we both love that one.
We loved that one. That one's fun. It's like half the movie, the audio in that is just intense because half the movie sounds like it was filmed in a wind tunnel next to a leaf blower.
There's a character named Sage who is like
Sage
a camp
Roberts.
counselor.
Yeah.
He's a camp counselor. He's just the angriest goddamn man.
Yeah, right.
And then he gets he dies by getting pitchforked
pulled into a porta pot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's the main guy's name? Ricky Fries.
Ricky Fries. Former motocross champion Ricky Fries. He's just he's killing campers in a motocross outfit.
I believe that if you go to the Mondo Baltimore YouTube page, you can see Roz give a clean description of this.
Yes,
if you really want to. But yeah, it's one. I think that's one of the better ones in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we've shown like fun. We keep finding fun movies that people enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
It's just occasionally we get like the rare gem that people really have not seen that is also pretty good.
Yeah.
And it has
It's
like a buzz outside of us.
Yeah,
You know, like
Yeah.
like Cool Cat. Cool
Yeah.
Cat is famous on the internet. It's not just us. you
yeah,
know?
that's true.
Yeah. Look up Cool Cat if you want to know what we're talking about.
We
Daddy
actually, the last
Derek.
Mondo clip show was cat themed, and so we stuck in an unseen Cool Cat clip in there. And
Oh, God.
the audience recognized it immediately and started booing.
Well, Derek Savage is booable as hell. I mean, he's
Oh.
like the ultimate dad joke.
Yeah,
He's like a libertarian gun nut divorced man who was once in Playgirl magazine, who fancies himself a filmmaker, but he just keeps re-editing the same movie over and over again.
he is what Milhouse's dad wishes he could be.
Yes. Yeah. There's truly a sadness to him. If you watch
Oh, absolutely.
if you watch his like YouTube videos, there's this sadness behind his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, he just wants to be loved and he doesn't know how. Like, it's so sad.
Do you think he has a race car bed? I guarantee you.
I
he's
think
a
not only does he
50-year-old man
have
with
one,
a race car bed,
but it is stained with piss. Like,
Oh,
from all his
no.
nightmares.
He also has like gone full force into merchandising without the fan base to back
Oh my
it
god.
up. So like he's got like the series of Cool Cat books that are like Cool Cat thinks ethanol is cool.
I mean,
The new movie he was shooting, which hasn't been done yet, is Cool Cat Stops the Coronavirus, right?
Yes.
I thought he got that
finish?
out.
Did-
I thought he was working on a different one.
We showed it.
Did we?
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes though. I don't know if it's finished.
Okay, it's not.
was
It's
just
not.
like
Yeah.
It's not a
a
film. It's
teaser.
just- yeah.
But I think we showed it during Christmas.
Well, it's confusing because like he made Cool Cat the first movie, which is I forget what the original title was, but
Cool Cat stops the school shooting.
well, that's what he re-edited it into.
Yeah.
He made the original one, and then he turned it into the school shooting one because that got in. It's not funny. It's not funny. Rod, stop laughing. It's not funny. The school. It's just like a school shooting. It's so not okay. But yeah, he re-edited that when that was like big in the news at some point.
Oh no, Cool Cat Fights Coronavirus is done. Its runtime is 20 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yeah, we showed it. We showed it. in one
Okay,
of the
we
book
showed that?
shows.
That is
yeah.
it.
Cool Cat literally fights coronavirus by punching it and not wearing a mask.
Oh my god.
I mean, this isn't surprising since if you go to his YouTube channel, you can also purchase like videos of him showing women how to use guns to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Like, he's super into like all forms of like martial arts and like, military style defense tactics and everything.
Okay, I'm at the site because I wanted to double check some of this stuff. He's got Cool Cat NFTs.
Of course he does. How could he not?
We've got one. Cool Cat loves baseball. Cool Cat loves wrestling. Cool Cat loves the beach, and can't forget, Cool Cat loves the soldiers.
I want to know if there's like Cool Coin, like if he's got his own cryptocurrency.
Oh my god.
You mean like one of the sub ones, like Ethereum and shit? Like there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Cat one. Like a Doge coin, but
Yeah, it's Cool Coin. It's
Bob,
the
I
most
really-
used kids
I
about
really hope the
cryptocurrency.
Strip Nut audience just likes us here, just
Oh,
fucking
yeah. This is
shooting the
what-
shit.
yeah, this is what this is usually. And then we do
All
like we'll get to the list. I just
All right.
wanted to. So I really, I was just trying to basically wanted to have you guys on for a little bit of a Mondo talk, just because.
Sure.
Once again, I felt bad about it, but it's something that I actually still do very much love,
Yeah.
just because I'm not there.
No, there are reasons.
There are
I understand.
reasons, I'll be back. But I've been involved, for like over a decade, so it's something I truly love, and I do miss it.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys too, is like, how's it been? I haven't really heard of, Like how are the crowds and stuff? Are
So-
people showing up or what?
They are. Before we get into this, though, I wanted to circle back and just basically give people an idea just of what the night looks like.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
We typically start at like 7 p.m. We have like an hour-long clip show that a bunch of us on the committee just we have a theme
YouTube
and
clips, yeah.
YouTube
Theme
clips.
is loosely related to whatever.
Yeah.
If Mark says, barfing on asses, we find barfing on asses clips.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a good one.
The poop one was excellent.
Yeah. After the clip show, Ros and I come out, we do some shtick, we talk about the drink specials, we talk about the drinking game. We talk about like we give popcorn and we have raffle prizes. You give us a couple bucks, you get some popcorn, you get a raffle ticket. The raffle prizes are all very stupid.
No, they're great. They're great.
Sometimes. The movie, we play the movie. Halfway through, we do an intermission. We usually do a little bit at intermission. I've started doing PowerPoint presentations because that was a thing that came out of our weekly pandemic lockdown shows, where it's just
We
got to
did,
do something.
We did a jorts contest. A couple months
that was
ago.
great.
That was pretty popular, where a few members of the Mondo committee had lost weight, so they brought in their old jeans, and it was the clip show was Florida Man themed, and the movie was Killer Crocodile, and all the scientists in the movie are wearing short shorts. So we challenged the audience to make a fashionable pair of jorts, basically.
And then we paraded them up there and judged them like the pieces of meat that they are.
Yes.
So yeah, we do our little shtick at halftime. We play the rest of the movie, and then at the end, we do our raffle drawing where people vie for the very odd things that we have to give away. To this day, one of our most revered prizes was this was found at a flea market by our very own Sean Jones. It was a homemade Kermit the Frog lamp.
Oh, I was gonna say, you're gonna say the Kermit the Frog.
Yeah. People still talk about it. They are still. I know
why?
someone who's still mad
because you guys said it was literally dangerous and might electrocute anybody who
That's right.
uses it.
But they took a Kermit the Frog like doll from like the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
And just impaled it on a random lamp stand, and it's like voila, lamp. And we bought it for like $2 at a flea market, and everyone was like, that is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I must have it.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is what we raffle off at the end of the night.
My favorite part of the Kermit the Frog lamp too is that the guy who won it was super jazzed, and then there was karaoke after Mondo that night, and he sang, I think it was the Rainbow Connection with the Kermit the Frog.
I believe it was Jordan. I think that's his name that won it. I think I remember because I was still going at that. It was before COVID.
It's before the pandemic.
And yeah, that guy's name is Jordan. He's a regular, and he was super excited about it. He was like sitting next to me at the booth.
Raffle prize.
He was literally sitting next to me at the booth, telling me where he's going to put it in his house. I remember this.
Great.
It's probably sitting in his house right now.
His house is probably burned down by now because that thing was terribly unsafe.
He might be dead. We don't know.
We bought it at an Essex flea market. Come on.
I mean, the bottom of it looked like it was just like had like super glue and stuff attaching the wires. Like it did not look okay.
No, it was a fucking fire hazard that we made an entire room of people jealous for.
Somebody's 70s weekend dad was like, oh God, it's a kid's birthday. What do kids like? They're like lamps. What else are they like? Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, it's kind of a trailer park gem.
That's a Daddy
right?
Derek present. That's a present Daddy Derek would get
weekend,
you.
To make his kids
Daddy
maybe
Derek.
love him again.
Yeah. That and a Cool Cat shirt.
Yes.
You love Cool Cat? Everyone loves Cool Cat, right, kids?
If Mondo had any big stash of money, I would be like, let's buy so much Cool Cat merchandise and just give that away. Like just at least one Cool Cat item a month.
You give it like a couple years. There's going to be actually not even a couple years. I guarantee you there's like a fucking thrift store in LA that just has a whole fucking cool cat section.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever could sit through that movie again. And that's rare
No.
for me to say. Like,
It's rough.
I've sat through a lot, many times. I've seen Vampire Dentist 6 times in my life. I don't think I could sit through Cool Cat twice.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's how bad his stuff is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's the general structure
That's the
of
general
Mondo.
structure of
Then we
Mondo,
we do our raffle, we show a trailer for the next movie, and then we tell everyone to tip their bartender.
And we get
this
wasted.
and it's at the Auto Bar in Baltimore, first Thursday of every month still, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
Clip show
anyone
at
in the
7,
DMV
movie at
area.
8.
Right. Anyone in the DMV area that listens to this, which I don't know how many of them are, you should check it out.
Come out.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll be there, but you guys are definitely there. And you've been doing a great job. Let me just say that too. Because since I experienced, I was there for the John Bennett years, like the majority of them. And John is, of course, John. There's one John
great.
Bennett. He's got his own vibe, his own shtick. But you guys have been holding down the fort amazingly. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Especially through COVID too. Like when we did this. So what everyone doesn't know is when we weren't allowed to be in person, we did it online every week.
Every week.
Every week. That was a weird time. It was cool because we got to hang out.
It was, yeah.
No, it
That
kept
was
me
the
sane.
best part. Yeah,
It's just like, okay, I get to see people I like and do something I like once a week.
once a week. It felt like it felt like something to look forward to every week. But
It was like a reason for me to put on a broad's makeup once a week.
right. And
Same.
Oh,
Yeah. I just wear a bra all the time.
It makes me feel confident.
Yeah.
Whatever you, however.
Hey,
you
you
feel
need that
supported
support as you get
and
older,
beautiful. Yeah.
But yeah, like it was something to keep us sane, but it also got exhausting doing something like that every week. But you guys did great. I didn't do nearly as much as you guys did. So I just wanted to say that if no one has.
Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't also give a shout out to fearless leader Mark Colgrove.
Oh, yeah,
who,
Mark.
kept a lot of that running, and
Mark, Sean, Pat,
Mark,
John.
Sean, Pack. They play the movies. They help pick the movies. And one important point that we should make here is that of everyone on the Mondo committee, Ros and I know the least about movies.
Yes, that's true.
It's true, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Once again, at the water cooler, I know everything there is to know about movies.
Yeah.
You could destroy my mom in a bad movie conversation. Let me tell you.
Exactly.
Sure.
If you're a 47-year-old secretary who's worked in local government for her entire life, I will destroy your knowledge.
Yeah.
On the Mondo committee, I'm like a drooling imbecile.
We're just wee little babies.
But
It's
you know
like,
what?
I saw one bad movie recently, and then Jimmy and John come in and is like, we got a fucking stack of DVDs here to get through. Let's see about these if we like them.
Jimmy's house is literally like the walls in his house are just covered in the bad movies of that have existed through time.
I know,
You know what I mean? It's like I couldn't even compete with Jimmy. Like it's impossible.
Yeah.
But
My one thing that I have over Jimmy is Jimmy also likes weird video games, and I could just be like, Jimmy, look, and he's just like, oh, I was like, haha, I bested you, Jimmy Gigrich, you very strong man who I slightly afraid could just break me in half.
he probably could now.
He
Definitely.
could.
He's pretty buff. He's got
So
buff. Yeah.
He's
But
so
I was gonna
nice, though.
say, yeah, totally nice.
Oh, he's-
I was gonna say though, I think the fact that you guys are more fresh. Let's say fresh. That sounds better. You're fresh with your movie watching and your bad movie watching.
yeah.
Might make your hosting more enthusiastic.
I kind of
because-
think that's the case.
I think it is because a lot of us are like we're very jaded in that we've seen so much stuff, and I don't know if it would read as well if we were the ones up there talking. Like to us, it's not as fresh, maybe, and you guys have this like energy about you. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think also, I mean, the other thing is Mike and I work very well as a team, I
Yeah,
think.
definitely. Yeah.
Like I have a background in comedy. I started off doing improv comedy, so I'm very comfortable working with a partner. And so it's nice to just have somebody who I know very well and I'm friends with, can bounce ideas off of, and can
Yeah.
trust to be funny when I ain't got shit. So that also is very nice.
And like one of our like one of our sort of most important little rituals is like we get together, a little bit before the show. We watch the movie together. We make our jokes. We come up with the drinking game. We come up with the intermission shtick, and so like we can kind of like plan it out with like a nice energy that comes from like, oh no, let's do this thing, or oh this movie really reminds me of this really weird reference to that, and let's pull that out. And yeah, so we do approach the movies fairly often with that, just sort of that energy of just like it being new and interesting, and having this like wellspring of ideas that we can pull from.
And also, we haven't even mentioned this yet, but you guys have characters. I can't believe we haven't mentioned this
we
yet.
We forgot to mention that.
You guys, like John was Dr. Acula.
Yes.
And he was kind of, it was Goulinda and Dr. Acula were kind of the original OG hosts. And Roz, your name is?
I am Frau Enkenstein, as a salute to Dr. Acula, because that was a big cape to fill.
And right. And Mike?
I am Dad Ghost, which is a evolution of a very bad joke I made.
And nothing has been attached bad to it since, right? It's all good.
No,
there's nothing.
Well, it was originally Ghost Dad, and then
we just thought it sounded better as Dad Ghost.
Yeah. It nothing came out that attached Ghost Dad to being a fucking rapist.
A monster, really a monster.
A monster. I'd like to say I'm undead, but I'm not a monster.
Right.
I'm just a dad who's a ghost trying to get by in this workaday world with my two little ghost babies.
Your two little boos.
Oh, they're so cute.
You are unaffiliated with any other types of fatherly spirits. Like you are. Yeah, you did create that way before we knew.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a funny joke. That was to be
fair, before we knew, that is a funny bad movie to reference.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just not funny anymore.
So for the uninitiated, we have a yearly tradition at our October show. It's the best worst costume contest. You just basically come up with a dumb idea and throw in a costume, and we judge you at intermission.
We to encourage people to go to their car, dig around, find something, and come up with a costume in I used to 5 minutes.
Crush at that back in the old days. Like literally, I think I won once or twice.
I won one year as I wrapped myself in aluminum foil, and I had a flashlight, and I pointed it at myself, and I was The Shining.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's a photo on maybe the Mondo page, I can't remember, of me dressed in my Mondo Baltimore costume, where I got like the popcorn bag and cut out the eye holes, and then I put the flyers all over me. I looked like a nightmare, but I was just dressed as Mondo, and I made that in about 90 seconds.
Yeah. We had a winner recently that they just got some toilet paper from the bathroom that wrapped himself in, and asked the bar for some grenadine, and went as a bloody tampon.
It's genius.
Yeah.
How can that not win? That's great.
How has no one done that before? It's so simple, but so brilliant. I'm
sure someone in history has done it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, considering this is a yearly event,
It's not Mondo history. If it's not Mondo history, it doesn't count.
Matter. Yeah, right. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But how many, I was going to say, like, because I'm really bad at time, how long have you guys been doing it?
We've been doing it.
Is it like 5 years now, or is it 4?
When did the wind up space close? Because it was shortly before
2019. So we started doing it in December of 2018. So it's really only been like 3 years.
Going on 4 years. We can say going on 4 years.
Estimate.
Yeah.
You probably find out where John, if we just looked up where John said he's done.
Yeah.
And then that would be you guys coming in.
Well, it was
Yeah.
funny too because John was just like tapping out. He was just like, I can't do this anymore. And then this was like my comedy dream, like my attainable comedy dream.
Yeah.
Was so Mondo.
Yeah.
Well, do it, Roz. When you get to 9 years, then you'll see how John felt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John was 9 years in, and he was like, "I can't take this shit no more." I think if we didn't make him dress in the Dracula costume, he would have went longer.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but
He didn't care for
the
that.
Dracula
Because those last
costumes.
few years, he was just like, "I'm not wearing the costume tonight." And we're just like, "Okay, fine." Like, you don't have to. Like, I just think it was the costume that really hated it. But
I have to slap on 20 layers of makeup, put on a wig cap, put on a wig. Have you ever brushed a wig? It's the most thankless task
I
ever.
have not.
And get my tits out to here. And he's complaining about a polyester Dracula costume.
That he didn't wash, though. It smelled really bad.
That's true. He would just get a new one from Party City every year.
And because they would fall apart so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, I'm not denigrating John. John,
No,
was
of
an
course not.
incredible host. But he,
Yeah.
They broke the mold when they made him.
right.
And honestly, when you guys asked me if I wanted to host it, I was like, really? You think
I'm taking credit. I'm the one who said it first. I just want to take
I'm
credit.
as funny as John? Really? And it was like a Star is Born moment for me.
Yeah.
Really?
I remember that because we were all talking, and I was like, "What about Roz?" It's just like because a lot of us didn't want to do it. I mean, honestly, you gotta want to be up there,
Yeah.
Like I do not want to do that. I have no, and I don't think Mark does either.
Oh
And
no,
Sean
Mark definitely doesn't.
either.
Nope.
Yeah, so all of us were just like, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I thought I was being really obtrusive when I sidled up to Mark. And it's just like, if you ever want some help hosting it, I'd love to give it a shot. And he's just like, yeah,
oh,
sure,
go.
cool, man.
And we were in the mode of who wants to do it because nobody does.
Yeah.
But it worked out perfectly the way it did. So
Yeah, Roz and I fell into a really good groove together, co-hosting, and again, we are actual friends.
Yes.
Right.
Hang out a lot.
It reads
we
like that,
like
too.
each other. So
Yes.
Right. If you hated each other, that might be funny for a few episodes. But
there was one Mondo where Mike hated me.
oh yeah.
which one was that?
It was the most beautiful time of the year. It was when we
fuck you.
a little film
God damn it.
called Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Oh,
Which you stood by pitching, and I'm just like, I will be very upset this entire night. And you're like,
the audience loved it.
I
stand
know.
by it.
I know you do.
I was for it, Mike. I got to be honest.
I know you were. All right.
Mike watched that movie in my home for the first time.
It made me apoplectic.
I did too. I was with you guys. I think we all
it's-
watched it together the first time.
It's egregiously horrible.
Oh my god.
And it's not horrible in Love on a Leash way. It's horrible in it's offensive what it's
message.
trying to say. It's disgusting.
It's an argument for Christians defending the commercialization.
Oh my god, I hate it so much. Yeah.
It's incredible. They go after the Catholics. Santa Claus beats somebody to death with a staff.
And there's just an excessive amount of dancing.
Oh yeah.
To make everything worse, there's just so much dancing.
You think you're done, and then it's like, guess what? We're having a dance party to
Right.
a fucking remix of Angels We Have Heard on High.
No, it's honestly Birth of a Nation for capitalism. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
It really is. It's so pro-capitalism. It's insane. Things
just
matter and buying
bonkers.
things is good, and Jesus approves of you buying things.
Yeah.
I understand why Mike hates it. It's a justified hate.
Yeah, I'm a big Christmas guy. I'm not particularly religious anymore. I just really like Christmas, and I like giving people gifts. And I don't want someone to tell me that no, you should give people gifts to support the economy and stuff like that. It's I'm giving people gifts because I like them, and I just like giving people stuff, and it makes me feel nice. Don't fucking tell me I have to do this for the sake of I don't know who's the fucking patron saint of capitalism.
Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, that's good enough.
I guess.
Good enough.
I don't know.
There's someone who I'm sure is a philosopher, but yeah.
No, it's truly a disgusting movie with a bad message.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
Also, it's kind of like the movie itself. The movie itself is kind of like there's just saying the quiet part out loud. You know,
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
like
they really
like because it's such a like sucking capitalism's dick, like of a movie.
Christmas trees are the cross, you guys. There's no other explanation to why we have Christmas trees.
Right.
We have Christmas trees because they represent the cross.
And snow globes represent the cave in which Jesus was born.
Right.
Fucking Christ.
It's also like a total
man.
obvious reaction to like the war on Christmas.
Yeah.
Like
But
completely.
the thing I love about
Up yours,
movie,
woke moralists. We'll see who
Who
cancels who.
God, I love that quote.
It's so great.
It's so good.
the thing that I love about that movie so much, though, is like it's like a mind's eye view into like somebody that you 100% completely disagree with, who is so isolated themselves that they think everyone thinks the same way as them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they are making a movie for like 0.5% of the country or something like that for this very specific group of people to argue this one minuscule detail. And it's fascinating.
It's to argue it in a way like they want to justify why Christmas trees and candy canes and all that are good, and people like that are not religious like us are just like, you can just enjoy that stuff.
I don't fucking care.
Without any of this insane reasoning.
Yeah.
The creator of the universe wants you to make a gingerbread house. Like, you don't need that. You can just make
Christmas is nice. I love Christmas.
Right.
That's Kirk Cameron. If you want to celebrate Christmas, you can come to my fucking Christmas party. Don't try to tell me why my Christmas tree represents the sacrifice of your Lord and Savior, Jesus.
If Kirk Cameron comes to your home, I want to be there to see you.
That's right.
Possibly murder a human being in front of your family.
That would be
Well, me too. His baby will do it.
Yeah.
With gerbil warfare.
Honestly, Kirk Cameron, I could see visiting like Hamden with the lights and everything. I could see him doing that after watching that movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
He'd probably, he'd make a big deal of it and to say like how this is like the real American Christmas, and then he'd be there also during the Krampus walk and just be like, and these are the people trying to destroy us.
I'd give him the authentic Baltimore experience and put a gun to his head and make him kiss a woman that's not his wife, because apparently that's why.
Wait, what?
He refuses. He's an actor who refuses to kiss women that are not his wife.
I didn't. Sorry. Okay.
I don't know. That was too. It was funnier in my head, but
I didn't know that.
We should also mention though what the framing device, just on the topic of Kirk Cameron's sexuality. The framing device is that he is, for most of the movie, sitting in an SUV outside of his sister's Christmas party,
right,
explaining to his brother-in-law why all his concerns about the commercialization of Christmas are unfounded. And if you were at a Christmas party and two dudes left and sat out in an SUV in the driveway for 45 minutes,
it's fucking weird.
Yeah, you'd be like,
I mean, no, it's not weird to me. It's just if I was from that family, right.
It's like, well, they're jerking each other off again.
You know what it is too? It's like the movie is so cheap and has almost nothing to it. It's like Kirk Cameron in a movie that has his name in the title.
Yeah,
it's like he showed up for like 2 hours and sat in a fucking car to film the entire movie.
Well,
it's like a Steven Seagal movie where Steven Seagal just sits in a car and just talks to other people while they stand next to the car.
I mean, that is all modern Steven Seagal movie.
Right. That's what I'm saying is Kirk Cameron made a Steven Seagal movie by just sitting in a car and doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's like a drive-through movie.
Oh my God. I to sum up, I hate it so much, Roz.
I'm just glad the crowd
loved you. The crowd loved it.
The crowd loved it, man. I mean, they all get it. They get it. No one's buying that.
I get to be angry for the rest of the night and play off of that.
You like being angry sometimes.
I was here when you first watched it. You were insanely mad.
God damn, I fucking hate Kirk Cameron so
when
much.
you realized what they were trying to say.
So, oh my God.
I was honestly a little worried I was going to pee myself. I was laughing so hard the first time I saw it.
It's a great film, a truly great film.
There are three
It's like
types
not
of
a good
viewers.
movie at all outside of the message. It's like literally straining to even be a full-length movie.
It's very fun if you're not
quite a documentary. Not a documentary, but
it's propaganda.
It's propaganda. It's straight up propaganda, right?
It is full on ham-fisted in your face propaganda, where it's just incredibly cringy to watch someone just be like, "Hey kids, you love Christmas, don't you? Good news. You better love money too." And it's just like, well, if you're just gonna put your whole ass out there, Kirk Cameron.
It's also like him saying that poor people can't properly celebrate Christmas.
Oh God,
which
really
is incredible. Not at all, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, that's insane.
It's like, if you have money, it is your moral duty to spend an inordinate amount of money on yourself during the holidays. His brother-in-law is just like, I mean, all of this material trapping and stuff, maybe we should be thinking about giving more money to the poor. And he's just like, you silly little
idiot.
That's like the opposite of Christianity.
God damn it! Oh, I hate him so much.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Well, this has been a fun review of Saving Christmas.
If you have to watch it after listening to this, please pirate it. Just
don't pay for it.
Yeah, don't pay for it.
Don't even get it through Netflix, because I'm sure you get some residuals. Find some way to watch it in a way that, if you can find a way to watch it that actively steals money from Kirk Cameron, do so.
I'll come over and bring snacks.
Yeah. Find a way to make it so he has less money to justify his exorbitant lifestyle at Christmas.
Well, what Mike doesn't know is Mondo's decided to show it every year at Christmas. I'm kidding.
No,
but,
I don't want to lose Mike as a co-host.
Yeah, Jesus.
I'm just going to get blackout drunk during the clip shows. What's
much like
happen.
Jesus, I'm willing to make certain sacrifices.
If that happens, Mike, you got to show up. The guy who always wore that $sign suit that was on TV.
It's my money and I want it now. No,
that guy.
Is it
the inventor guy with the question mark? No,
yeah,
dollar sign.
Yeah, I know. I know you're talking about.
I mean, you mixed up with the Riddler.
Yeah, you're right. He looked kind of like the Riddler. I forget what the guy's name is. You got to show up in that suit, just because you worship money.
It's my Christmas and I want it. No, I'm getting that commercial confused with that. But it's
KG Whitworth.
Yeah, I forget what the name of the dude is, but everyone knows when you say it. That guy who's on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, last thing, Mondo, first Thursday of every month not the wind up space. Jesus, Bob. Oh my God, it's been a long couple years. At the Auto Bar.
Still miss it.
Yes, upstairs.
I miss the Auto Bar is incredible. The wind up space was a different type of incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. So Auto Bar, first Thursday every month, 7 p.m. pre-show, 8 p.m. movie. If you're in the DMV area, seriously check it out. It's a great time.
We'd love to have you. We're very warm and welcoming, and
there's
weird.
a bar.
Yeah.
You can drink, and there is working toilets and seats.
and popcorn.
And popcorn, right?
Yeah. And if you mention Shrimp Night to me or Dad Ghost will motorboat you.
And then and he will then give you a copy of Saving Christmas. That has been pirated and burned to a DVD-R.
I'd like to point out, Roz, it was actually, I believe, you who did the motorboating.
I did do the motorboating.
Who did you motorboat?
Me.
I motorboated Dad Ghost. We showed
did you
Hard to Die.
Did you press your boobs together?
No, we showed We showed Hard to Die, which is a
Pretty Naked Lady Die Hard.
Pretty much, yeah. It's about a bunch of lingerie models who get trapped in an office building, and so we thought it would be funny.
Andy Sedaris?
No,
just Andy Sedaris-esque.
Yeah, it's a spin-off of Sorority House Massacre, I think.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we thought it would be funny to force a member of the audience to summarize the plot of the movie while having balloons stuck under his shirt and massaging his fake boobs. And Dad ghosted it as well. And then I thought
So you wouldn't feel alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I realized for the first time in my life, I had the opportunity to motorboat somebody and I had to take it. And we got a really great slow motion video of
It was great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure, Roz, that with the crowd that usually attends Mondo, there's somebody with breasts in the crowd who would be happy to let you motorboat them. Probably most of the shows.
That's true.
If you ever, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, not saying that, don't turn it into that, but
I'm not going to turn it.
but you probably get a yes. I'm just saying.
Frau Inkenstein's Motorboat Movie Madness.
You could motorboat so
That's the
many
next
moves.
intermission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you get a few yeses. You're
Yeah,
going
that's
to.
true.
No,
Yeah, that
yeah.
is true.
All right. Well, so yeah, everyone check that out. That anyone that listens to this and lives close, I have no idea. But let's talk about the movie assignment I gave you.
Yes.
Yes.
And the assignment I gave you was, for your own interpretation, movies where someone is frozen
Yes.
or someone gets frozen. And I said, interpret that as you will, because I guess it doesn't necessarily mean cold, but
I
you do what
chose-
you want with it.
I chose to take it pretty literally based off
That's
of
fine.
what came to mind.
Mhm.
I did a little research.
So
Was there
how
Time
Okay.
freezing. You could have done time freezing. and all
time?
that
I mean,
stuff.
like I said, I wanted you to leave it up to your interpretation of it. I think that I went pretty obvious with it
Okay.
myself. But the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna go around the Zoom table and we're gonna say like our number 5 and our number 4, and if anyone's matches something else in your list, we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then like say which one you got and why it's, because I was interpreting this as I made a list of a bunch of movies where people get frozen, and then I picked my 5 favorite out of the, like my 5
Sure.
actual favorite ones out of that list. But however you guys you chose is fine too. So okay, number 5. Let's go. Roz, Mike, me. Let's do that. Okay.
Okay.
Roz, what's your number 5?
So this is I stretched the meaning of Frozen a little bit for this one, but I picked The Nightmare, which is a 2015 documentary on sleep paralysis.
Oh wow.
Oh,
and I
that's
chose
interesting.
it. Yeah, I chose it because it's the only documentary I have ever watched that scared the shit out of me.
Holy shit. Okay.
So yeah.
Where can one see The Nightmare? What is that? What streaming service? Do you know?
I saw it originally on Netflix. I think it's still on there. It might actually be a Netflix documentary, and it's about people who have sleep paralysis. Essentially, it doesn't really go into the medical aspect of it as much. It's more just interviews with people who have sleep paralysis, explaining the things that they've seen while having sleep
Oh my God,
paralysis.
it's terrifying.
That's so scary.
I have a friend who suffers from sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
She told me, she doesn't listen to this podcast. I'm not going to say her name, but she told me that sometimes she wakes up and on the floor of her room, she sees a woman who is upside down with her arms all bent out of shape and frozen in a screaming position, and black fluid is flowing out of her eyeballs. And I was like, what do you do when that happens? And she's just like, I just wait it out.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
literally,
Lord.
that I couldn't handle living with that impending maybe happening all the time.
It's just
Yeah.
like, does it get to a point where it's just like, eyeball lady is back?
Oh, it's just,
All
do you want
right.
anything to drink while you're here? Or
How's it going,
I help you,
Janet?
but I can't get up.
up? Yeah. Just don't get the eyeball fluid on the carpet again, okay?
Just
God.
cleaned it up.
It's but I'm actually gonna watch that, Roz, because
Yeah.
well,
it's-
it'll scare the shit out of me, but that's something that like I'm like, how does a human being live with that? I can't.
yeah.
Sure.
It's a great documentary.
And people are like feel like they're frozen. They can't move.
Yeah.
You're just stuck there until it's over, right?
Hmm.
Okay, Roz being extremely creative with the assignment would
Mm.
make me feel like a hack.
Don't worry, I have a couple obvious ones too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mike,
Mine are all
what's-
obvious.
Yeah, what's your number? 5?
Austin Powers.
That was on my honorable mentions.
That was I've strong memories of watching that with my dad and my brother back in high school. It's still funny,
Oh yeah, it's still fun.
and it sort of introduced me to like the '60s era music. I was like, oh, this stuff's cool, so I started listening to that after that, and like I was a guy who only listened to like Weird Al in high school.
Same.
So yeah, but then it's like, there's additional music here. And then also, I have just kind of been obsessed with some videos lately that took Austin Powers and put it in video games like Mass Effect, which it's just.
I think I've seen.
Yeah, no, watching Austin Powers doing all the Mass Effect stuff. So like my main like wheelhouse is like gaming and stuff like that.
Right.
And just like, wow, that fits real well, and I really want to play that game. So yeah, Austin Powers.
I've never played Mass Effect, but I might because of that.
Yeah, just play your guy as Austin Powers and everything you do.
Yeah.
Right. 2 people technically get frozen in that because Dr. Evil gets frozen
Yeah.
at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he get frozen at the beginning as
At
well?
the beginning, right? Well, yeah. So 2 people, yeah. Regardless, and
Yeah, but
you
yeah,
got the cat too.
That's
one thing
cats
I was
aren't
like.
people.
I said people, so I was like, can't be robots and shit. Okay. My number 5 is Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, nice.
Simply because Saddam Hussein gets frozen in a T2 parody. And it just made the list just barely based on the other ones. So I was like Austin Powers or Hot Shots. I had to pick one spoof movie over the other. So
Sure.
yeah. So Saddam Hussein getting frozen and then crumbling to pieces with his dog.
No, I'm into that.
Yeah, right. All right. Number 4, Roz.
Okay, so this is my other like stretching the meaning cheeky one, and I'm saying this because I was thinking about it, and I was just like thinking of the different meanings being frozen, and I remember this because it's a really good movie. Bob, I know you like it a lot too. One Crazy Summer. There's a small recurring gag in it about how these 2 little girls are bullying the little sister and her ugly dog. And they're like making faces at her. And somebody says, if you keep making that face, if someone pats you on the back, it's going to get stuck that way. And the little girls like, don't listen. And so it happens. And it's this recurring gag where these 2 girls with these hideously deformed
Yeah,
faces.
Mike, they do like this type, like that type of thing.
Oh.
And somebody slaps them on the back and they take their hands away and like, they've been done up with makeup.
Right.
Their faces are frozen in that horrific position. Yeah.
And they come in and out during the movie. And I was like, okay, I have to give that movie a little bit of love. And
That's great.
It's a really funny, clean joke too.
Didn't even occur to me, but absolutely one of my favorite movies of all time. So that's awesome. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check that out, Mike. Watch that movie. I think you'd actually like it.
I probably would.
I think you really like it.
I don't think I've ever gotten a bad movie recommendation from you, Bob. So
I think, Roz, don't you think Mike would like it? I mean, it's also.
I think so. I mean, I would watch it with you. I love that movie. I think it's
got Bobcat Goldthwait being Bobcat
nice.
Goldthwait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, Mike.
All right. I had to definitely throw at least one B movie on here. Jack Frost 2: Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman.
Yep.
I like it better than the original Jack Frost. I like the original Jack Frost is like,
not the Michael Keaton one.
Not the Michael Keaton one. It kind of just it does like, oh, what if the snowman is a killer? And it's like, what if the snowman is Freddy Krueger? And it's like, it's fine for what it is. Jack Frost 2 sends everybody to a beach resort, and then Jack Frost has babies, and they kill the babies. And then Jack Frost gets mad and like completely reverses it, where it's just like you start rooting for the mutant killer snowman. And it's just like, yeah, you defend your children, Jack Frost, you weird nuclear snow serial killer man. I'm definitely on your side now. Fuck all these B movie actors.
It's the Evil Dead 2 of the Jack Frost movies.
It really is.
Yeah, it ups the ante that much.
It does.
I haven't seen that in like 20 years.
I mean, it's still fun.
Yeah, no, because yeah. My number 4 I feel bad about because when I was doing my list, I was like, I'm going to put this here, but I know Roz will definitely have it on her list. You know what I'm going to say? I feel bad because I feel like I shouldn't say it, but it's just the truth.
1, 2, 3. Encino Man.
Yeah, Roz has a tattoo of it. Yeah, there it is.
A very difficult angle.
Describe this tattoo for people listening.
It is a sibling tattoo I have with my brother, actually. And it's an icy that says Wheezin' the Juice.
That's so great. Was this your number one?
No.
Okay,
No.
good. I didn't steal your number one. All right.
Didn't steal my number one.
All right, yeah. But Encino Man, I fucking love Encino Man. I obviously don't love it as much as Roz because it's not on my body. I haven't put it on my flesh. So you win on that. But yeah, it's the thing that as a kid where I didn't question somebody getting frozen in normal amount of ice. And then
I
somehow
thought that was something that could happen.
I totally believed it could happen.
Sure.
And that ice is like encased in dirt too. I still don't get how they came up with that. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then I just love too that he's like Sean Astin's trying to just dig a pool in his backyard without any concrete. Like you just just have a huge mud pit. I don't know.
There's something beautiful about pre-Lord of the Rings Sean Astin. He's always great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he was something else he meant something for some of us older people back in the 80s, for me at least.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings kind of made him that. Whatever. But yeah, I love Encino Man. It's probably my favorite Pauly Shore movie.
I like In the Army Now just a little bit better.
Really?
Just a little bit.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, but Encino Man.
It's got Dag.
Yeah, that's true. Encino Man for me and my brother, like the reason we got the matching tattoos. We were actually at the wind-up space. We were like, we should get a sibling tattoo, but it has to be the stupidest possible thing we can think of that still has meaning to us. And so we were thinking about it, and we were just both like, Encino Man. And so we had to come up with.
Yeah, did you have other ideas from Encino Man? Like, was there a Radmobile idea or anything?
Yeah,
else?
we talked about getting the Radmobile. We talked about getting Brendan Fraser in like an ice block. But then I was like, well, I don't really want either of those things permanently on my body. Like this way, it's like kind of discreet and like a cool story. But like most people would be like, oh, it's just an icy tattoo, So we ended up on this design. So
and now we're like living through a Brendan Fraser science now.
I know. He's going to be a Monster Mania.
Right. Maybe Encino Man will have an uptick in love.
We should.
We can't know, but let's hope.
Yeah.
All right. Roz, what's your number 3?
All right. My number 3 is, let me pull up my list because I'm old. Oh, yes. My number 3 is GoldenEye.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love GoldenEye, not because of the video game, but that also has a very special place in my heart. I'm a huge James Bond fan, which is
I
really
would not
strange.
have guessed that at all. Okay.
But see, here's the thing. I love the classic campy James Bond movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like there's a couple of the new like dark edgy ones that I haven't seen. But I just love like the weird, clumsy, like campy Roger Moore, like having like a suitcase bomb and a jet car or whatever, there's that meme that's been going around like talking about how the new James Bond is him coping with trauma and the old one is him meeting women just named like, hi, my name is Rebecca Ass.
Yeah. Yeah. The old is way better, easily.
Yeah. I love the old ones. They're so much fun. But the thing about the Pierce Brosnan ones that are kind of fun is they're like a buffer between that campiness and then the dark edginess.
Sure.
And I think GoldenEye is the actual turning point. And so, like, and it's got really good actors in it. It's got Sean Bean.
Yeah.
GoldenEye's a terrific film.
Yeah.
Which you can't say about every James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Really
and Alan Cumming's amazing in it.
Yeah.
He's the guy that gets frozen because
I am invincible.
And then he gets hit by the liquid nitrogen. So yeah.
That's great.
That's up there.
Roz, if I'm honest, that might be my favorite James Bond movie. And it's, once again, for Mike, it does help that the video game exists because that was such a huge part of my childhood.
It's on my list. I'm changing it out to something else.
Oh,
but
you are?
it's also
Okay.
it's also because of the video game.
But here's the thing: is the movie is actually great. Like I've revisited GoldenEye, I've revisited other James Bond movies, and when it comes down to it, that's just a great movie.
Yeah.
And it really did bring Bond back. And the weird thing is, the guy who directed GoldenEye also directed the first Daniel Craig movie. So that dude, Martin Campbell, brought back James Bond twice. After he dipped into oblivion and he came back. But GoldenEye's a special one. I really love GoldenEye.
Yeah. That was my first Bond movie. And I was just like, this is really fun. Are they all like this?
Some of them. Would you say that's the best licensed game of all time? Movie licensed game?
Probably, yeah.
I can't think of one that matches it.
Yeah, just
because movie licensed games aren't exactly good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's sort of one that like does something like really well. Because there are actually a few really good licensed games out there. And I mean, a lot of like the Capcom era, Super Nintendo Capcom era stuff is really good. Like like the Nintendo era stuff too. Like the DuckTales game. That's a perfect
TV,
game.
Though. That's TV.
It's TV.
Yeah. I feel like movie games were slightly worse.
I will say, just because this is a fun tidbit that I love, they did a tie-in game for the Tom Cruise Mummy movie. It's called The Mummy Demastered. Really good.
I saw you post about this.
It is really fun. It's like a Metroid game.
Yeah.
And it is the only good thing to come out of that
movie, right?
Never had a chance.
But I can't.
GoldenEye at least had a good movie. GoldenEye had a great movie, and
it's a great movie and a great fucking game.
Yeah, both are great. Yeah.
Well, now I want to watch GoldenEye. We're on Mike's number 3, right?
Yeah. Let me check my list real quick.
I'm gonna go. I'll be right back, guys, because my laptop battery is dying. This is super professional.
No, it's fine. Go for it.
Okay, so my number 3 is Mortal Kombat. The 95
how did I not
version.
think of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
I just did this offhand, like through memory. That's great.
Yeah, I'm doing. Obviously, I have the video game thing here, but that was just such a big fucking deal when we were kids. You get to see the Mortal Kombat in the theaters, and there's all the guys and there's Scorpion saying, "Get over here!" And even going back and watching it, it's really fun and campy. It is not as boring as the later ones. Yeah,
don't apologize for Mortal Kombat. That movie is fucking entertaining as hell.
Yeah, and
it really
the theme
is.
song, I still can't.
There is a write-up
song without screaming Mortal Kombat at the end.
There was a write-up I found not long ago, maybe a couple months ago, but you probably even saw it. The guy who does the scream in Mortal Kombat, somebody sought him out and found the guy who screams Mortal Kombat. Like that, and the dude,
that's amazing.
He does voice work and stuff, but he's easily this is the most impactful thing I will ever do.
It's true.
Is I screamed Mortal Kombat in the song.
And it's so good.
Oh yeah, no, that soundtrack fucking rules. That was a childhood staple for me. That soundtrack. Yeah. So Mortal Kombat. Never apologize for
easily in my top 5 of movies where someone gets frozen.
I've joked so long about wanting to walk down the aisle at my wedding to the Mortal Kombat theme song.
Can you please dress as Sub-Zero and Scorpion?
Yeah.
And as soon as I get to the groom, it goes, "Finish him."
No, we'll save that for the wedding night.
That's true.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't help it.
No, I set it up. It's there.
All right. My number 3, kind of obvious, but once again, I went by how much I love something. The Shining.
Yeah.
I mean, he dies. He freezes to death, right? I mean, it counts.
Yeah,
it totally it's a simple one. I apologize for how simple it is, but The Shining is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I had to put it on the list. I feel kind of guilty because Roz is being super creative over here, and I'm like, The Shining, duh. But I truly love it. So
Yeah, no, I
Huh?
love The Shining.
I mean, it's like we're not going to tell you, like, Bob, no, you can't like good movies.
Well, now I'm wondering, should I have thought outside of the box more? I'm like, she's going with the, like, like
I did it
dream,
because
like,
I'm a contrarian, you know.
Yeah.
That's fine. I wanted that. I wanted you to do it. All right, Roz, number 2.
All right, 2 was Encino Man, but
I apologize.
because there's not, I've come up with a placeholder.
Mhm.
This is not a good movie, but I think it is an excellent dramatic element in an otherwise not good movie. The movie Wolf Creek.
Okay.
It's a horror movie. I think it's by Ty West. I don't know directors.
No, it's not Ty
I have
West.
that.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I like Wolf Creek, though. It's a very creepy movie.
Yeah. So there's this one kill scene in it where the killer like snaps this woman's spinal cord. So while he's interrogating her and he's like torturing her, and she can hear and feel and talk, she just can't move. So she feels everything that's happening, but she's unable to move at all. And it's like such a good horror, like kill torture scene.
Yeah.
That, it came to mind. And she's frozen.
She is. She's totally.
Yeah.
It takes place in the Australian outback, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
The director is Greg McLean. He also directed the Belko Experiment. If you guys saw that.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's Wolf Creek's a solid movie. I really love that one. I forgot about that. See, that didn't even occur to me, Roz. That's great. That's fucking great. Okay, Mike, you're number 2.
This is a little bit of a stretch as well. This would fall more under petrification, I think, than freezing. But Gremlins 2. The gargoyle gremlin.
Yeah, no, that counts. I would say.
Yeah.
He freezes in motion, definitely.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah.
My original number 2 was Goldeneye, but I was like, I don't want to be. We're gonna talk about different movies.
Right,
but I mean,
right.
Gremlins 2 is just it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like that was
You know
one of
my
the
feelings.
I know your feelings about it. We watched it a bunch as kids in my house because it's a Looney Tune. And,
solid video game too.
And Gremlins 2 is a real good video game. It holds up, and it's got those the action's good, and it's got those real good like mid-90s pixelated versions of movie scenes.
Yes, yeah.
Where it's just like that it still looks really good. They did a good job with the art. And that's always something I love to see when I revisit retro stuff, where it's just like, oh yeah, no, there's skill applied to the artwork here. It doesn't just look like there's some stuff that doesn't hold up from back then. There are some games with like really ugly graphics. But then some stuff is just like, no, that still looks good. It's just a different, it's not like, 3D rendered, whatever. But yeah, no, Gremlins 2 is so fun. It's got such a great cast. Obviously, a lot of people, I think, were introduced to it through the Key and Peele sketch, which is great.
Which is great, but also it annoys me slightly.
Yeah.
That sketch is so not accurate, but
I know, but also
but it's such a great sketch. It's so well executed.
It is, and it's like, people like revisited it, and then it's like, oh no, it's all here, and oh, this is all great. And then one of my favorite Twitter accounts is the Institute of Gremlins 2 Studies.
Love it.
Where it's just all this like deep philosophical, economical, like classist theory through the lens of Gremlins 2, and it all fucking works.
Well, I mean, Gremlins 2 is about like capitalism and technology and all that stuff. So I'm glad I didn't think of that, Mike, because it would have been on my list. I'm just glad I didn't consider it.
I was like, this is a stretch, but I'm gonna put it on there because
no, it's good.
Bob will be mad if we don't talk about it.
No, I'm not gonna be mad, but
well, not mad, but
he
mad
does
at himself.
The back gremlin does freeze. In motion, and he's technically in that universe still frozen in there, right?
It's a living hell.
It's literally a living hell. Do they even die? Do they age?
Yeah, that's a real good question.
Is that gremlin still living in that
engagement? Yeah. That's how Gremlins 3 starts. Someone that statue breaks open. And he's just like, I've been in here for 80 years.
There's a prequel coming to Netflix. I doubt they'll touch on
Cowards.
Writing my letter to Netflix today.
only
Address
for
the
that.
inconsistencies.
Not all the other terrible stuff Netflix has done.
Yeah, right.
This is why I'm writing a letter. That's great. Who are we at? Me? Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you?
Okay. Number 2. This is obvious. This is so obvious. It's the serious version of Austin Powers. Demolition Man. I could not put it there. I love Demolition Man to death. It is the same plot as Austin Powers.
Sure.
And more people don't note that all the time. Like I think it was like 10 years ago when I realized that. I was like, wait a minute. Is Austin Powers' plot like a parody of Demolition Man? Oh my God. I didn't realize it. But yeah, I love Demolition Man. I think it has more love now than it's ever gotten.
Yeah.
Like, it was always kind of considered a bad movie in the 90s, but now people kind of beloved it and actually appreciate it for a lot of great stuff that's in it. So
Yeah.
And it kind of predicted a few things, like Arnold Schwarzenegger being in politics and Taco Bell being incredible. No. Okay.
Yeah. Depends on who you talk to about that.
Right.
Yeah. Not my colon, ayo.
Hey.
So yeah, gotta love Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Ros, number 2.
No, this is my number 1, I think.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, now we're on number
sorry.
1.
I'm sorry. Yeah, number 1.
All right. It's a little film called Leprechaun 4: in space.
Incredible.
A
movie we saw together for the first time.
We did. Once again, it was a day where we binged every Leprechaun movie, although I think I had to leave early, so I stopped at 4. But really, when you see the best, and I'm sad. I'm sad that like Leprechaun in the Hood gets so much like recognition, and this one usually gets glossed over because it's batshit insane.
Because In the Hood has a more exciting title.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Leprechaun in the Hood is a bit better. I will say that. Having seen the book, I think it's a bit better. Really? Okay. I
depends
do
what you're
enjoy
looking for.
Leprechaun in space. It is that shit
it does depend what you're looking for. I mean, if you're looking for a coherent movie, this is not the movie.
This isn't it.
Absolutely
No, it's
not.
definitely not.
They never explain what the Leprechaun is, why he's in space,
Right.
what his powers are.
Didn't he die in the movie before it too? Like
He dies in
yeah. It's not even the Leprechaun from the other movie.
It's still the Leprechaun, but it's not.
It's very badly, cheaply made. It's got a litany of Star Wars jokes they don't work, but it's whatever. I don't know. To me, it's the most fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Leprechaun movies just because they are, in general, a lot of fun. Like, I think, but
especially the sequels. The first one to me is really kind of boring.
Yeah,
not much happens.
It's pretty much your typical slasher movie. The first one, the
Yeah.
sequels, I like 2 and 3 a lot.
The Vegas one is great.
The Vegas one is amazing,
and I like In the Hood. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
we can all agree that we enjoy the weird Leprechaun movies.
Because it just like it was after the second one, they were just kind of admitting we don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
So he just goes to places. He goes to the Hood. He goes to space. He goes to the Hood. It's like, okay, we don't know what to do.
He's just a small man. There's very limited things he can do to terrorize people.
Yeah.
He's a small man with some magical powers that are ill-defined. Like he could sort of do some stuff. He could teleport, kind of. I don't know. It's a good choice. I like that. Yeah. It's a good choice. Okay.
I actually wanted to use that one, and I looked it up just to make sure that I was remembering correctly. Someone got frozen.
Yeah, somebody gets frozen. Yeah. Because it's in space. They get shot in space.
Obviously.
Mike, number 1.
I'm gonna be real boring. Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, it had to happen. I
love it. Like I love it. I love it to this day. I actually don't watch the new Star Wars stuff. Like I was real big into the original trilogy, even the prequels back in high school and in college. Extended universe stuff. I could tell you a lot about Kashyyyk.
Right.
But
which is the planet where who is from?
Chewbacca.
I'm just saying it for
Obviously.
anyone listening. You know.
Okay. Kashyyyk is the Wookiee planet. It is.
Did you know that, Ross? Yes.
I have a Star Wars tattoo too.
Oh my God.
you need to spend some time on Wikipedia, girl.
Look, I like the 3 original movies and Rogue One, and then
that's
it. You know, when they start, I don't watch any of the new ones. I don't have the energy to keep up anymore.
That's fair. Like I don't watch the new ones because
I've seen all of them.
Yeah,
I have
is
opinions,
fine.
but it's not what we're gonna do here because it'll take forever.
But Empire Strikes Back is just incredibly well constructed.
Right.
It's like they really kind of get out of the trap of like sequelitis, where it's just like it kind of sets the mold for like sort of you do the trilogy movie where like the second movie is your low point, but also like it leaves you feeling hopeful at the end. They do that right. You get just really good, character growth on all accounts.
Also, I'd say it's maybe the most famous freezing of a person in cinema history.
That too.
Oh yeah.
Easily. I mean,
yeah.
I wrote it down, but
I used to have a Han Solo carbonite ice cube tray. Like that's how famous.
Yeah. I could not say it.
Did you see the special editions at the Senator when they came out? Did you see that? I remember one of the coolest things was like there's a local collector in Maryland who donated his like full size Han Solo and carbonite statue to the Senator.
Oh wow!
And it was like in the lobby for the special editions and everything. That was back when Star Wars was like still a joyous occasion.
Yeah, no, I saw it at the Beards Hill Cinema 5 in Aberdeen. So.
That's just as good.
Yeah, we didn't have a fancy ass collector nearby.
Oh damn! No, I just remember like just getting to touch a giant statue of Han Solo.
Which part of Han Solo did you touch?
His crotch.
Yeah.
What other part would me at that age choose to touch, Roz? I can't. What do you think? I'm going to touch his hand or something? Are you insane?
I don't recall there being a visible bulge to touch.
I mean, just the area where the crotch was encased. I just guessed.
Okay.
I hovered and I slightly just felt the heat come off of it.
Why was it warm?
So many people have been touching it.
Yeah, that's the most touched place. Because Brad had his hand on there for a good 10 minutes. And
Brad's like, no, I can feel it. I can feel it. It's right there.
It's right there. And then I placed my hand over Brad's. And we just sat there. Just mesmerized. Yeah, no, that's a great choice. It's obvious as fuck, but
it's super obvious. But
it had
also
to be said.
It had to be said.
Can't do this category and not say it.
Yeah,
it's just impossible.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. Also, a great Super NES game. I like it. Oh, see, now I'm getting pushback. I enjoyed it.
I mean, they're good. They're just there's a really big difficulty spike, I think, about halfway through the game.
Okay. Where
it's just like it starts not to get fun, but like the first the first part's like, where you're doing the Battle of Hoth and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, that part's great.
So good.
When you
Maybe
get to,
that's what I'm remembering. Really, is that?
Yeah. But at the time you get to Dagobah, it gets like really grindy, where you're just like, oh, okay, I don't know. I don't remember the part of the movie where Luke had to kill this giant plant monster. But here
that
we
definitely
go.
happened. You got to watch it again.
Yeah, it's in the extended cut.
It's in the special edition. Okay, it's my number one now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my number one, I don't feel like this is that hackish of an answer because I don't know if many people would think of this, but one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, The Frighteners. Michael J. Fox gets frozen so he can leave his body and
you're right.
And try to help save her.
Good pick.
Right, yeah. So that had to go to number one just because out of everything I love it the most. And that's
got my boy Jeffrey Combs.
I need to rewatch that movie because I saw it when I was 6 years old and it scared the living daylights out of me.
Rewatch it because I think it's more
so
comedy than it is.
Yeah, it
now.
really is. But like, there's like the scene where the ghost travels through the wall and you can see the wall bulge as the ghost travels through.
So some of that you might, when you watch it now, you're going to see the CGI of it all.
Yeah.
But I don't let that distract me from how much I love the actual like execution of it.
Yeah.
The Peter Jackson execution is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
my favorite
Busey's
Peter Jackson
in it too.
Busey's in it. He's
That's
great.
Your favorite? Oh, even over Down Alive.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. Okay, it's old CGI, so that does put a little bit of a damp on it. But I'm one who I don't care about effects as much, so I can deal. But as far as direction and execution, I feel like he's firing on all cylinders. And I say that being a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I think Lord of the Rings is like a perfect trilogy, but I still prefer the Frighteners because it's more my style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's so fun.
Yeah, it's so
it's
fun.
Also, I feel like with stuff like that's CGI heavy, but it's like dated. You kind of have to pretend along, you know?
Yeah, you
like
have to move your brain backwards.
Yeah.
You have to appreciate it for what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking for the most advanced graphics, you shouldn't be watching a movie that old. Anyway.
It's like the whenever we have all talked about like the hipsters who saw like the Thing at the Charles and laughed at it. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what you were expecting from a 1982 movie, like John Carpenter movie, but they're going to be practical effects, and you have to be with the movie a little bit. Like,
so wait, people were laughing at the Thing for the effects?
They were laughing at the Thing, they laughed at Alien, and they laughed
Fucking
at
hell.
Recall. Yeah, like it was that was like the whole series of movies where they just a few of our friends, a few Mondo people I saw it with, we experienced quite a bit of laughing, especially at the effects shots. And it's whatever, you know, but
sure.
It's just like, I don't understand why that's funny to me. Because
it's like that's actually hard to set up and do, you fucks.
But it was like at the time, that's also the best you could do it, you know? Like literally. But I think some people do have a problem with moving their expectations backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? With the Frighteners, it was literally new technology. Like they were literally breaking ground. Yeah. Because of the Frighteners, they were able to make Return of the King, you know, like it was like a stepping stone to actually do other shit that actually worked way better. But
because of the Frighteners, my parents had to move my bed from being against the wall to the center of the room because I thought that the wall ghost was going to get me. So I couldn't sleep facing the wall because then I was going to see the wall ghost get me, but I couldn't sleep with my back to the wall because the wall ghost was going to sneak up behind me and kill me.
When you were a kid, was it scarier when you found out the wall ghost was Jake Busey?
In retrospect, probably, yeah.
Okay. Have you guys ever seen the outtakes to the Frighteners?
No.
So there's outtakes where this might be a little bit sad actually, where Michael J. Fox is supposed to scream for the judge, and he actually it's like happens like 4 or 5 times. He screams Doc.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean like it in '96. It's probably actually not Parkinson's. Like it might just be like actor getting confused of stuff that he's, you know,
sure, but also
it might be kind of sad. But I remember first seeing that, I was like, oh, cool. And then the Parkinson's thing came out. I was like, oh no,
oh
no,
yeah.
But if anyone listening is interested, there's a 4-hour documentary on the making of the Frighteners on the Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
which I have watched and enjoyed. So yes, I'm a fan of that, and somebody totally gets frozen.
Yeah,
and that's my answer.
That's great.
Let me finish coughing, and then say thank you guys.
Yeah,
for doing this. You
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
thanks for having us on.
I wanted to shed some light on Mondo. I feel like we've done that. You know, but like if you had one elevator pitch for Mondo to get one last thing to say to get people there, what would you say?
First Thursday every month, the Autobar upstairs. We would love to share a movie with you that odds are you have never even heard of, but you are going to have a hell of a time watching. And You're going to watch it with a room full of people. They're going to be just as confused and excited as you are.
Yes. It's like watching your favorite movie that you've never seen in a room full of your drunk friends while eating popcorn and laughing at two imbeciles on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's prizes.
And if I may, it's also for somebody visiting from out of town. It's also, I feel like it's a genuine Baltimore experience.
Yeah.
Very
I'd
much
agree
so.
with that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they might have something similar in other towns, but it really feels like Baltimore-esque. Like here. It's just that type of vibe. It's great.
It is. We are just weird for the sake of being weird. Like, you know,
right.
This is fun for us.
It's a hangout night. There's no ulterior motive. It's not some stepping stone to doing other things.
No.
I've
peaked.
I already said this was my attainable comedy dream, so I have to keep doing this until I die.
Yep.
Ross was like, I want to be John Bennett. Now you're John Bennett. Well, you're half John Bennett. You got one half of the new. If you guys merge into one human,
the fusion dance will turn into
and
John.
you can fight like a kaiju, then you can fight John and see who wins. King Kong versus Godzilla. Not that there's any. Also, there's no rivalry here.
No,
at all.
Not at all.
At all. I think John just wanted to stay home.
Honestly, I still get like every time we do like a Mondo reunion thing, John's on stage with us. I still get like a little excited and starstruck.
Oh yeah,
who's doing John?
Oh shit, John's here. I got to put on my A game because he's real good.
And John, I will say, John has been on this podcast. And here's the thing: is John? I love him to death. He's one of my best friends. He doesn't turn off his jokes in real life, which can be angering and a problem. But it's like if you take that gift or curse and put him on a stage, it's like nothing is better. It's like
magic.
the perfect
absolutely
thing. You know what I mean? Like for all how he is in real life sometimes. And you're like, stop making a joke out of this. But then you put him on a stage and it's just like he's the machine that keeps going.
Oh God, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's great. But so are you guys, and that's why I wanted you on.
Thank you.
Seriously, I'll stop embarrassing you. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for doing my dumb prompt.
Absolutely.
Of course. That was fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably rewatch GoldenEye soon.
You should. I did.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It is. But
there's
is there
a woman
anything
that chokes men to death with her thighs.
right? That was so weirdly hot too, right?
Nothing weird about it.
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. Is there anything you guys have to plug that isn't Mondo? I don't know if you guys it's mostly Mondo, right?
The James Webb Space Telescope.
Right. You're working on that, right?
Yeah, that's my job. That's my day job. Processing data for that.
You know what though? I think that doesn't need that's pretty famous.
It doesn't.
It's going well.
It's got funding and it's pretty famous.
Hey kids, do you like space?
I don't have anything to announce, but I would like to tease that I may or may not be working on a theme event for a very beloved show. So stay tuned because I'm trying to get it scheduled if I can.
Is there anywhere that you're online that people could follow you to find that information when it happens?
We'll probably announce it on the Mondo Facebook page.
Okay, so at Mondo Baltimore on Instagram or the Mondo Facebook page. Okay, that's what I was trying to get you to say. Follow me.
Yeah. Most of my stuff is cross promoted through there, and you know, I do stand up occasionally at open mics, but it's probably not that good.
The honesty. I've never seen you actually do stand-up, Roz. I feel bad for saying that, but
I don't tell people because I only do open mics and
I don't advertise. I just do it to myself in a dark room.
I literally know, but that's when I do comedy and I perform and stuff. It sucks, but I don't care if my friends show up. I just do it because I like doing it. So whenever I had an improv show, people would always ask me how do I go see an improv show? And I'd be like, Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I just show up when I'm supposed to show up and go on stage. So, but maybe one of these days I'll start doing more stand up and actually advertise.
Okay, but so follow Mondo Baltimore
Yes.
on Facebook or Instagram,
Yeah.
Yes.
and we'll put Roz's stuff up there since she has no other social media apparently.
I mean, you can friend me on Facebook, but it's
Okay.
not going to work out well for you.
This is great. These are great plugs. Please don't tell anybody about me. Just
Come to Mondo Baltimore and do nothing else.
come to Mondo Baltimore and buy Ros and Mike drinks, and then ask them where to see them again. That's
What we like.
Yeah.
So, and for Mike, it would be at NASA. So go to NASA.
Go to
Yeah.
NASA.
You can just walk in.
Follow at NASA.gov.
Walk right on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, at NASA.gov, they announce all the Mondo.
Ask them about faking the moon landing.
Hey, wait,
they
Mike.
love that there.
Mike, has anyone from work ever went to Mondo?
Some people have definitely heard about it. I think they've been to the Parkway shows when we were doing that.
Oh, okay.
Some people stopped by for those.
Yeah. I wonder if we're ever going to do those again. Is that ever been talked about? Is the Parkway?
It's been discussed, but I think Sean said that he was having trouble getting in touch because they're probably pretty busy.
Okay.
So.
For anyone listening, we showed like movies in a real theater that we thought were actually good.
Good.
And that happened, I think, 4 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like
We
that.
showed Braid Candy like not long before COVID shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did Halloween Season of the Witch.
Friday the 13th, part 5.
And Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Yep.
Yep.
Right? That was all 4, right?
Yeah,
I think that's
all
it.
four.
And they were all great times. I would I would definitely want to do that again. But
We'll have to see. COVID.
All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
And bye.
Bye.
Bye.